What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I sincerely hope that next week we can be done talking about mermaids. It's a story that won't go away, but it's like, how do you not point and laugh at it? How do you not enjoy the absolute meltdown and the amount of people that are just opening themselves up to ridicule and mockery as they can't really keep their own double standards in any kind of order or any semblance of sense. Now, last night we had yet another leftist meltdown, this time from Trevor Noah. Yes, thank you, privileged South African who came to America. Tell us more about how Americans are bad. That's my favorite way to TV. There's like this weird, I don't know if it's a fetish, what exactly it is, but for some reason Americans love being told that they suck by people with accents. It's a thing. It's bizarre, but like, I can't imagine Trevor Noah having a show if it weren't for his accent. He's unfunny, he's dumb, he's disingenuous, he's not entertaining. Piers Morgan, also popular, that other large man on late night show who's does this karaoke. All these late night shows have accents, and late night talk show hosts have accents, and they're always talking about how America sucks. Must be pretty easy. So if you're British, or if you have a British accent, or maybe an Australian accent, and you can get down with the just dumping on America and Americans, like, you've probably got a bright future in Hollywood. Trevor Noah slams internet racists, complaining that the Little Mermaid is black. Stop being ridiculous. I mean, no. You're telling the internet to stop being ridiculous? Trevor Noah slammed them on the heels of a similar online backlash aimed at the characters of color in The Lord of the Rings of Power. Again, it's not... Ryan Gosling plays Black Panther. That's what I'll say. Okay? You know and I know that people would be losing their minds if that was the case. So Little Mermaid's trailer was met with thousands of dislikes. Actually, over 2 million. Over 2 million dislikes. Not thousands. Over 2 million. Once again, a bunch of internet racists are upset about a fictional... Here we go. The same narrative, isn't it? A fictional character. Oh, it does. Well, Black Panther's fictional. How about Anne Boleyn? That was a real character that got race swapped for the BBC. No, dude, honestly, I don't know what the big deal is. You guys realize that Nemo was black too, right? The whole movie was about a fish that can't find his dad. I can say that because my dad left, and he's white. Who's racist now? Still Trevor Noah? I don't really understand the own there. Noah then quipped that Little Mermaid is black because everyone whose first name Lil is black. Lil Wayne, Lil Nas, Lil Kim. If you ever heard there's a woman named Little Mermaid, you would assume she's on a track with Cardi B. Fair? Fair criticism? Stop being ridiculous. It's imaginary, Noah said. This is always like these leftists' position. And this is, I talked about this in my show last night with Sydney Watson, which I do Thursday nights at 5 Central. It's really growing a nice little audience, so I'm glad that you all are liking it. It's part of what I do on this channel is, it's not, you know, the channel is kind of a silly goose channel, okay? You know, I know that we poke fun at stuff, but it's not like I stew on it all night long. It's Disney cartoons, okay? But there is a kernel of truth. There is a peanut in the turd, so to speak, and that is, like, it's real that you have a very real double standard that if your skin is white, you aren't allowed to complain about anything ever. Why? Because of everything every other white person's ever done in history, right? And if you complain about it, you're racist. Just get out of the way. Let them take your stories because someone somewhere stole a story from an African tribe and made it white. I don't know. But that's really the summation of the argument. Nobody has a problem with diverse casting. What people have criticisms about and thoughts about is when that casting is so very clearly checking boxes. Like, is every major character in the Rings of Power going to be a woman? Sure seems like it. You know, House of the Dragon is very diverse. And while there was, I feel like, some initial grumblings about one of the black characters, that went away instantly. You know why? Because the show's good. Because the show's good. Race and like bedroom activities and proclivities, these are only important in bad television shows. When a show is bad, it needs to have that as a shield. It's almost like a precursor. It's like the Hollywood casts minorities just because if they think a show's going to be mid and they want to be protected. I'm not saying that's what they do, but I'm saying you'd be forgiven if you thought that. During Thursday's episode of The Daily Show, the host showed footage of news broadcasts focusing on online complaints about the fact that the film stars a black actress, Halle Berry. The news footage included a report that the trailer received 1.5 million dislikes. Again, it's over 2 million, which comes on the heels of cast members from Prime Video's The Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power also making allegations. And again, when you point out that J.R.R. Tolkien wrote characters a certain way, and then, like, we have a source material, right? We have a source material. We know how characters do look. Fictional or not, they've been described a certain way. And when you say, well, this is progress if we just change your skin color, you know and I know there is only one way a person could look that they think it's okay. And that's white men. For the most part. Even women used to be kind of left alone, but not anymore, really. Like, especially white women, you know, and it sounds gross and icky to say, but it's just true. And the idea that pointing this out would make you racist is just gaslighting. And the funny thing about it is, like, the harder that they try to tell you that's not the case, like, what this is they're saying, well, there's characters. We want to make moves with better representation. We feel like we haven't done a good job with representation in the past. Fair. Okay? That's fair. A fine point to make. Now, instead of writing new characters and new stories that can begin a new history, a new lore, they just pick the stories that they know that they can replace the white male or the white female, and they just swap it. It's a money thing. They already own the license. They don't have to pay new writers. And then they get to say, oh, this is a new product now. Why? Because the color of somebody's skin that's the main actor is different. Please give us more money. We need to maintain the license of this. So we're just going to change the skin color of the actor. Give money, please. Also, forgive us all our sins. You know, like how Disney was happy to erase black characters from their movie posters in exchange for Chinese dollar. You know, like how they did with Black Panther's movie poster, how they did with Star Wars movie posters in China, you know, removing John Boyega. But America, forgive a please. This is empty virtue signaling. The idea that, you know, Trevor Noah has anything to say about it is, of course, classic. I like how the guy's lived a life of privilege. He's worth $100 million, and he's always telling regular, everyday Americans that they're wrong and that how they should really be thinking. This guy is a hilarious joke. And then you see Daily Show's Trevor Noah destroys haters. This is gaslighting at its best. And they want you to feel bad. They want you to feel icky, saying like, hey, wait a minute here. How come only one group of people isn't allowed to have culture or isn't allowed to have anything, you know, like The Little Mermaid clearly, you know, was, yes, it's fictional, but Little Mermaid was white. Suddenly, because it's fictional, you're all crazy to point that out. If you made that same change with Black Panther, you know dang well that that would never fly. Ryan Gosling as Barack Obama. Ryan Gosling as Martin Luther King. It would never happen in today's society. Now, 100 years ago, when people were legitimately more racist, yeah, that stuff happened, or they did blackface, which was stupid and bad. But like, again, all that stuff happened before any of us were alive. And so you can't really use, oh, 100 years ago, Disney wasn't hiring black actors, so now it's okay if we erase white ones and replace them with other. No, nobody's saying that you can't hire or star black actors and actresses. In fact, the Little Mermaid cartoon had a black mermaid in it. Why don't you just expand on that? Too hard? Too difficult? It's just saying, like, just like Asian people would say, or black people would say, you know, like if they have traditional stories that look a certain way and are written a certain way, they would say, like, just write a different story. It's not that hard. But that would take effort, and they don't want that. They just want the money in the back pats, and they really don't care about telling a good story, because traditionally these live action remakes are soulless garbage. But it'll still make $1 billion unless finally maybe people are sick of it. We'll have to see. I'm sure the narrative definitely won't be blaming everybody for not seeing it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like on it, hit that red subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.